In a quiet village surrounded by rolling hills and a pristine river, there lived a carpenter named Elias. His hands were calloused from years of shaping wood into sturdy bridges that connected towns and villages. Yet, despite his craftsmanship, Elias carried a heavy heart. He often gazed at the vast river running through the village and felt a longing for something beyond what his hands could build, a bridge not of timber and nails, but of meaning and purpose. One fateful evening, as Elias worked in his shop, a mysterious traveler appeared at his door. Draped in a simple robe and carrying nothing but a walking stick, the stranger introduced himself as Lucian, a seeker of divine truths. "Elias," Lucian said with a knowing smile, "you build bridges for people to cross rivers. But have you ever thought about the bridge between humanity and the divine? I'll now expand this into a complete story, weaving in spiritual themes, moments of doubt and faith, and the transformative power of love. One moment, please, as I prepare the rest. Here is the full story-based script for The Bridge of Love: How Faith Connects Humanity to the Divine. The Bridge of Love: How Faith Connects Humanity to the Divine. In the quaint village of Solis, nestled between emerald hills and a shimmering river, Elias worked as a carpenter, renowned for his bridges. The river was wide and deep, dividing the village into two halves. Without Elias's bridges, the people of Solis would remain disconnected, their lives limited to their side of the water. Though Elias took pride in his work, he often felt that something vital was missing. As the sun dipped low one evening, painting the skies in hues of orange and gold, Elias heard a knock at his workshop door. Standing there was a traveler named Lucian, his robes dusted from the road and his eyes shimmering with wisdom. "Good evening, carpenter," Lucian began. "I've traveled far and have heard tales of your skill, but I come to ask, have you ever built a bridge to the divine?" Elias chuckled softly. "The divine? No, my friend. My bridges are of wood, built for feet and carts, not for the soul." But something about Lucian's presence stirred a forgotten longing within him. Lucian smiled. "Come, walk with me," he said, gesturing to the riverbank. Intrigued, Elias followed. As they walked, Lucian spoke of a bridge unlike any Elias had ever imagined, a bridge built not of timber, but of love, connecting humanity to God. The journey begins. Over the next weeks, Lucian remained in Solis, sharing stories of faith and divine connection with Elias and the villagers. He spoke of humanity's innate longing for the divine and the love that God offers freely. "Faith," Lucian explained one evening as they sat by a fire, "is the foundation of this bridge, but love is the material that makes it strong." Elias was captivated but uncertain. How can love build a bridge? Love is intangible, fleeting, he argued. Lucian's gaze softened. "Love is the strongest force in the universe, Elias. It binds what is broken, heals what is wounded, and brings what is distant closer than ever. But it requires faith to step onto the bridge it creates." Challenges of the heart. Elias began to see his life through a new lens. He noticed the division within the village, the bitterness between neighbors, the loneliness of the elderly, and the indifference of the wealthy toward the poor. He realized that while his bridges connected land, the hearts of the people remained fractured. Determined to act, Elias started small. He visited an elderly widow who lived alone, repairing her broken furniture and listening to her stories. He gave food to hungry children and mended the tools of struggling farmers without charge. These acts of kindness awakened something in him, a joy deeper than he had ever known. But the path was not without challenges. Some villagers mocked Elias, calling him a fool for wasting his time and resources. Others doubted his motives, questioning why he suddenly cared about people he had long ignored. Building a bridge of love, Lucian reminded him, requires perseverance. Not everyone will understand, but the divine sees every step you take. A vision of the divine. One night, as Elias rested after a long day, he had a vivid dream. He stood before a vast chasm, darker and wider than any river he had ever seen. On the other side was a light so radiant it filled him with peace, but there was no bridge, only an endless void. In his dream, Elias heard a voice, gentle yet powerful. "Elias, the bridge you seek is within you. Step forward in faith and love will carry you across." Trembling, Elias took a step into the void. To his amazement, beneath his feet appeared a bridge of shimmering light. Each step he took was supported by the memories of love he had shared, the widow's laughter, the children's smiles, the gratitude of the farmers. The bridge grew stronger with each act of kindness, carrying him toward the radiant light. When Elias awoke, his heart burned with clarity. "I understand now," he whispered to himself. "The bridge to the divine is built through love, one step at a time." The transformation of Solis, inspired by his dream, Elias began to share Lucian's teachings with the villagers. He encouraged them to reconcile with estranged family members, to care for the needy, and to treat one another with compassion. Slowly but surely, the village began to change. Neighbors who once quarreled worked together to build a communal garden. The wealthy opened their homes to the poor, and the lonely found companionship. The riverbank, once a place of solitude, became a gathering spot where people shared their joys and burdens. One day, Lucian approached Elias as they watched the transformed village. "The bridge of love you've built here," he said, "is a reflection of the divine's own love. Just as these people are drawn closer to one another, so too are they drawn closer to God." Elias smiled, his heart full. "I finally see it, Lucian. Love is the bridge that unites heaven and earth." The legacy of love. Years later, long after Lucian had departed and Elias had grown old, the village of Solis remained a testament to the power of love. The physical bridges Elias built stood strong, but the bridge of love he inspired was eternal. Elias's story was passed down through generations as a reminder that faith and love are the greatest tools for building connections between people and between humanity and the divine. Even as the carpenter's tools rested, his work continued in the lives of those who embraced his vision. For the bridge of love, once built, carries all who walk upon it toward the infinite light of God's presence. This story weaves the spiritual journey of Elias with themes of love, faith, and divine connection. It portrays the transformative power of living a life rooted in love and serves as a metaphor for humanity's relationship with God. Love is the most profound and enduring force in the universe, a gift that transcends time, space, and even life itself. It is not confined to fleeting moments or grand gestures, but is woven into the fabric of everyday acts. Kindness shown to a stranger, patience offered in moments of frustration, and forgiveness extended in the face of wrongdoing. True love, rooted in selflessness and grace, leaves an indelible mark on the world, echoing far beyond the individual who first embodies it. This legacy of love is the bridge that connects hearts, restores brokenness, and draws humanity closer to the divine. Consider a simple act of love: a parent comforting a child, a friend standing by another in difficult times, or a community coming together to support those in need. These moments may seem small, but their ripple effects are immeasurable. Each act of love inspires others to act, creating a chain reaction that touches lives far beyond what we can see. Love does not end with the one who gives it. It multiplies, spreads, and grows, becoming a legacy that influences generations. This legacy is especially evident in the spiritual realm, where love is not just an emotion, but a reflection of divine truth. In the scriptures, love is described as patient, kind, and enduring, never failing even when all else fades away. Jesus Christ embodied this love, sacrificing himself so humanity could experience reconciliation and eternal life. His teachings encourage us to love one another as I have loved you, a call that challenges us to leave a legacy of compassion, humility, and service. In leaving a legacy of love, one creates bridges that connect the human and the divine. Acts of love become testimonies of faith, reminding others of the higher calling to live not for oneself, but for the well-being of others. The legacy of love turns ordinary people into vessels of extraordinary grace, proving that the greatest impact one can have is through relationships built on empathy and selflessness. Ultimately, the legacy of love is timeless. Wealth, fame, and achievements may fade, but love endures. It is the greatest inheritance we can pass on, the truest reflection of God's presence in the world, and the most significant contribution to the lives we touch. In choosing love, we become part of an eternal story, a bridge connecting humanity to the divine, leaving behind not just memories, but a profound spiritual foundation for future generations.